Yes, please. Hello everybody, and welcome to another video. As you can see, we've moved from the drive down here. We're now in Hearn Bay, just a little bit further down the road.
I need to...
Sarah needs to get her act together. We're a little bit late again because I had to drag her out of the pub to get here.
You're lying.
We'll be off in a second. Just had a few, for some reason, every time I try and do a live drive through the phone, it wants to change the angle of the phone, vertical to horizontal and all this sort of stuff, and it takes a little while to actually get it together.
Ooh. Right, let me get my seatbelt on. Do you want a little snack, Tone?
No, I'm alright, thanks.
Okay. Good girl, Pip. I'll read the messages in a minute.
Okay. Sarah will be with you in 2 ticks.
Clunk, click.
Okay.
Trip.
Oh, let's turn that off. I hate that noise. Right.
Right.
And we're off.
Hello, everybody. Let's see. I'll just start reading the messages again, and Tony can have a little chat with you. So, Lisa Sargent, already a lot of traffic on the A299 and the A249 area. And I meant to say hello everyone as well. Thank you very much for keeping us company on the way home.
Yeah, I was going to go a different way home. I was going to go straight down the M2 and not do the little shortcut through, going by the traffic that was on the M26, M20-ish area. I plan to avoid that if I can, and just carry on going down the M2 until I hit the M25. I'm just going to take you down here so you can see the view of Hearn Bay and the little pier there. Hopefully the camera's doing it justice there. That looks quite nice, and the little harbour there.
And the pier must have been a lot longer once, because when you look out to sea, I don't know if the car will catch it actually. No, it's just missed it. There is the old end of the pier further out to sea. Yeah, it was nice. We had to download the Ringo app when we got to Margate to pay for parking, and we were 2 minutes late leaving, so we're really hoping that we don't get stung with a £100 fine. And the car park in Hearn Bay is one of those, it's again automatic number plate recognition. You don't pay until you leave, you don't need a ticket, anything like that. But anyway, all done nicely. And on the way back, obviously, it will be getting dark. So we'll start in dusk, this drive back, and end up dark.
We'll see what the driving's like in or on the phone. You guys will anyway, in the dark. Whether you can see anything. So I guess it's pretty blurry anyway because of the phone signal. But yeah, we will see.
We got some messages. So Remix IOM has said hi.
Hello.
Vinnie M is back, and Vinnie M said, I'm only here in case Tony misses the turn off again. Another educational drive home. Some lovely little independent pubs along here. Look at that one, Hearn Bay's oldest pub, the Ship Inn. We went by a bar in Margate High Street, and inside it was all really key, decorated. There was a waltzer as a seat, you know, from a fun fair, an old dentist chair. I saw some really nice metal signs for the garden. They were like metal letters in a sort of antique second-hand type shop, and they were £45 each. So Tony didn't think it was a good idea to bring them home.
No, not at that price.
Lisa Sargent just laughed at Vinny's comment, and Misty 710 said, "Hi, sorry, but I know very little about south of the river." Vinny M said, "Join the club, I live in the northwest," laugh out loud. Soft 16 stick said, "Bit late, I haven't eaten my carrots." And there are pictures of carrots and the moon there. Gary Moore said, "Evening all, A299 Thanet Way M2 MT25 will be a complete pitter."
Yeah, on a Friday evening, yeah, it's not going to be good. But then we'll see, and you'll be with us to see it.
Misty 70 said, "I rarely ever touch that area. I'm 2 minutes drive from the M25 at junction 28.
28, wow, the other way around.
And Soft 16 stick said, "Bloody Ubers, say one time, turn up another."
The app glitched.
Neil Southern said, "Hi all." It's Jawsome Plays said, "Missed the last live drive as my dog was in the dog groomers, but I'm glad I made it for this one." And Lisa Sargent said, "Don't worry, you're here now." Bad Deb said, "Missed the earlier live drive due to work. Looking forward to this one instead." Jerry Gillen said, "Hi, my first live jive I've been able to watch."
Jive.
Yeah. And Michelle Simpson said, "Hey, I hope you both had a lovely day." Thank you, Michelle. It was nice.
Yes, it was very nice. It's quite a lot of litter, I've got to say, round Margate,
Yeah.
compared to Hearn Bay. Hearn Bay seems to be a lot cleaner.
And AA Edits, I know I've pronounced that wrong. Sorry about that. Said, "Hello Tony, what is your favourite season?"
Well, summer. Always summer. Always prefer it nice and hot. Or hottish, not too hot.
Misty 710 said, "Never been on one of these before. I do occasionally do Ben's channel at Flawless Cleaning." Michael Morland said, "Hi guys."
Hello.
And Paul Bateman said, "All ready for the return, and don't worry, I've been." Well done. Well done, Paul. Well prepared. Vinny M said, "The seatbelt was invented by Volvo in 1959, but they didn't copyright it, so everyone could use it." And Gary Moore said, "Dashcam bingo, house."
Yeah. Camera's not doing it justice. Where's this pickup going? Oh, it is going left, just not indicating.
Alan Howard said, "Hi Tony and Sarah, how was Margate? Did you bump into Del and Rodney?" Laugh out loud.
We went where they had a little chat.
Very windy on there, that harbour bit. We walked out along there when we first got there and it was really windy. Put Pippa's little dish down for a drink of water and it nearly blew away. Andreas Haynes said, "Missed the journey, Tony and Sarah. Hope the home journey is enjoyable." And that's Andreas from Hereford.
The queue for the fish and chips was massive.
It really was. We queued for about 10 minutes or so, but we were starving and there was a massive queue in front of us. So we didn't wait and we went into, I can't remember what it was called now. Went into like a little, looked like a converted cinema or pub. What was it called? Something like East End Arcade, something like that. It was all little eateries, really quirky, with a double-decker bus inside that had been converted into a cafe, and we had a bite to eat in there. We shared a pizza, which was a bit naughty for a lunchtime on a Friday, but my was rather nice.
It was nice.
And a couple of cups of coffee, just enough to keep us going for the afternoon. And it was dog friendly, which was nice. And yeah, when we remember the name, we'll let you know where it is. Nice little tip for somewhere to go.
Quite quirky.
Yeah.
The guy that made our pizza was so laid back, he was almost cooking it horizontally.
Yeah.
He was just so laid back, it's unbelievable.
And he had a little toddler in there who was just sitting there watching him, carrying on, not fidgeting anything, just, yeah, it was really nice. AA Edits, sorry about the pronunciation again, said, do you enjoy living in London?
Sometimes it's quite convenient because everything is there, not too far away from you, but all the trouble and everything is starting to get a little bit too close to home. So sort of yes and no, really.
Diamond 2025 said, hello again, thanks for going live again, hope you enjoyed your day. Thank you, we've had a lovely day. Just so you know, Tony, it looks like you've got 101 passengers in the car with you, keeping us company on the way back. Ice B, aka P77 Ice, said, afternoon, just got in from work, hope you had a good drive. Been on the arcade machines today?
No, we didn't go on one.
A few are open though on the seafront.
Yeah. Donut shop was really busy.
Dreamland was closed. That reopens on the first weekend of April. Lisa Sargent said the dark blue on the screen is heavy rain that Tony and Sarah are heading into.
Yeah, I can see a few little splashes on the windscreen actually.
Tomo said, I can't go a day without humming or thinking about the Punjab James Bond song, thanks to you. Vinny said, yeah, but was the fish and chips nice? No, we didn't get a chance.
The queue was so long, it was taking ages and it just wasn't moving. You don't mind queuing, but the queue was not.
The only thing we could think is that they literally everything from scratch, fresh. But yeah, the queue was, yeah, we waited for quite a while and then we gave up because if the queue had carried on the way it had done, we would probably have been there for about an hour and a half. And because we were only there, because we were only there for a few hours, it was a bit too long for us to wait there. But I think if we go back for a day again, we'd definitely do that. And it's funny that place because there's nowhere to eat inside. You can only eat outside, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But, yeah. Soft 16 Stick said Hastings has the best fish and chips. We haven't been there for years either, have we? Mr. GT40 said, hi both. Do you find that more and more vehicles don't have lights working properly?
If it's a Fiat 500, yeah. I think I've only seen one that's where their lights do work. But yeah, on the whole, yeah, there are more vehicles on the road nowadays that their lights don't work. They're so expensive to get repaired, I guess, or change the bulbs and that. And some of them you can't even do yourself. They you know, they sort of like cost a lot of money, and you have to get someone, a professional, to do it for you.
Alan Howard said, Tony, I watch all of your videos, which I absolutely enjoy. I know you're a private hire driver. Did you have to do the knowledge? If you did, how hard was it?
No, we don't do the knowledge like the black cabs do. We do have to do a map reading test, but that, you know, you've got the A to Z in front of you, and they will give you 3 destinations to actually map out, and you have to write it down on a piece of paper where you're going to go. There's a short one, a long one, and a really long one that goes over a couple of pages, and you literally just have to write down every road that you would take without going too wide or down a one-way street the wrong way and all that sort of stuff. Yeah, so you know, you should really pass that. It's like the knowledge, but without the map being in front of you. They got to do it by memory, the black cabs. I don't know how they do it, to be honest.
Misty 710 said to soft 16 stick, Southend, hold my beer, and then a laughing face. Sasha Burton said, don't know what phone you have, but FHD 60 FPS will keep the picture smoother. We love the live drive, us, Sasha and Julie. Thanks, Sasha.
Okie dokie.
Soft 16 stick said, I'll drink your beer, laugh out loud. Ice B, aka P77 Ice, said tunnel. ... And RXPX69 said, are you on TikTok?
Yeah, I am, but be very careful, because there's another couple of accounts that are pretending to be me. If you go to my YouTube page, you'll be able to see the correct one that is actually me. The others are just stealing my stuff and putting it on there. And TikTok are just rubbish at actually sorting it out. You know, sorting out the copyright of people stealing my stuff. They're just there because it's from one platform to another. They're just not bothered.
Lisa Sargent said that tunnel is for the golf club above. The Birch twins said, really enjoy your videos. We've never been to the south, but I feel we know it well now. And Misty 710 said to Soft 16 stick, you can have it. Southend is good for fish and chips, but the beer, and put a sticky out tongue face emoji. Ice B, aka P77 Ice, said, that's one car not to buy, second hand, a Fiat 500. And Soft 16 stick said Southend is okay, is just okay for boy racers, Essex girls and fights. And Misty 710 to Soft 16 stick said, not really anymore since they sealed off the seafront, but then you know the type, they always find another place to screw over. Sasha Burton said, my Clio 2020 had a kid run in front of the car. Slow speed, he was fine, but my left light assembly had to be replaced. £440. Bloody con. Caught in Peterborough said, hi.
Hello.
Soft 16 stick. London dash cam is suited to Eastbourne. The moany old git. Laugh out loud. Where are we
Don't
now?
pussyfoot about. Say what you mean.
Old. Calling you old. Soft. Where are we? Phantom Epics. Hi, I'm Stephen. I'm a new subscriber to your channel. Really enjoying your content.
Cool. Thank you.
Caught in Peterborough said, hope wife okay, and then said, I worry about her, Tony. Lisa Sargent said, I like the merch store, Tony, some good designs.
Yeah, it is good, but I know that it's quite expensive. And believe you me, I don't get a lot of money from that, hardly anything. Since I've had that merch store open, Actually, I haven't received a penny since I've had that open. Yeah, it's a very minute little bit that I get from that gets put in a bank of theirs, and then after it gets to a certain amount, then I can withdraw it, and it hasn't even got to that bit yet. So yeah, it's a bit. I am always looking into new ways of actually making merch cheaper, because I know it's expensive, and yeah, I'm not particularly things, you know.
To catch you on the live drive. Have a safe trip and watch out for the OOOOs, or it might be the O's.
Was it the Audis?
Oh, I get it. It's 4 O's.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, David. I will get used to this car speak. Caught in Peterborough said, "Where's the self-entitlement shirt?"
Yeah.
And Alan Howard said, "I worked for a garage in Newcastle upon Tyne a few years ago. Had to pick up a few customers' Fiat 500s. Not for me. The only good thing about those cars is the USB port on the centre console." And Caught in Peterborough said, "With the Range Rover crossed out on the shirt." So where's the self-entitlement shirt with a Range Rover crossed out on it?
Yeah.
Lisa Sargent said, "A bit like Google AdSense, £60 before you see any money." And Alan Howard just said Newcastle, not Newcastle, because he had a typo in his last message.
Yeah.
Flyboy Ben said, "Good evening from Aberdeen." And good evening from whatever motorway we're on.
The M2.
Good evening from the M2, Flyboy Ben. Ice B, aka P77 Ice, said, "Always an Audi."
Indeed.
With a thumbs up. Jerry Gillen has said, "Hi Tony, I love watching your videos of Epsom, as my nan used to live in Stoneleigh, and it brings back fond memories of and the Epsom Downs." And that's your messages all up to date at the minute, love.
Cool. Well done.
Alex Meikle has just joined, saying, "Back again."
There's a B-bar on the other side of the road for some reason.
All by himself. Sasha Burton said, "My friend Sarah has a Fiat 500. When I told her she is a trainee Audi driver, she passed herself laughing. Mind you, she do drive like one." And then she just corrected and said, "Pissed." Arthur Andrews, "When do we get the London Dashcam song?"
Well, you won't be able to hear it here, not on the live drive. I haven't got. I should get them all put onto something so it's playing in the background, shouldn't I? Really? That's a good idea. I'll sort something out about that.
Caught in Peterborough said, "Fiat 500 is for Barbies." Laugh out loud.
Indeed, yes. So what way would you go home from here, you guys? We're going back to Sutton, Carshalton, Sutton. What way would your preference be if you were doing this yourself? Bearing in mind, on the way down here, there was quite a lot of traffic going back the other way with road closures, or it went down to one lane. So I'm thinking of going straight down the M2 to the M25. I'm debating on whether to not even go on the M25 and go in town and across. But I don't think that Friday evening, nah, probably not. Probably better on the M25. Any options on that one?
So
Yep.
Steve Yates has asked, what do you think of the plans to reduce the speed limit on the Mad Mile?
Yeah, it's. I mean, in the bigger scheme of things, it's only a mile, isn't it? But it will come. It will come. Every other road to it is either 30 or 40, and then it's all of a sudden there's this 60 mile an hour mad mile, and and people just abuse it, don't they? I can't recall too many crashes being on there though. Just that you've seen it on the channel how many times people do stupid stuff on it, but yeah, I haven't seen that many crashes other than down by the roundabout where people are obviously getting it wrong.
And if people don't know what the Mad Mile is,
Most of them do from the channel. It's the A217, the Brighton Road, is it? I think it's called the Brighton Road on the A217.
Karina Radlav said, "Hi Sarah and Tony, absolutely love your channel."
Thank you.
Thank you, Karina. Lisa Sargent said, "I will look at getting a sticker for my mobility scooter. Always a shop rider." Vinnie M said, "I thought you would be selling the wax for £400 a pop." And Misty 710 said, "Steve Yates, they must be mad." That's about the Mad Mile comment. Phantom Epic said, "I miss where the chosen location is." So the chosen location for the live drive down was Margate. That got the most votes out of everything. So we went to Margate this morning, or sort of lunchtime-ish we got there. Stayed there for a few hours and then went on to Hearn Bay. And we're currently driving back from Hearn Bay back to Carshalton near Sutton in Surrey. Alan Howard said, "Avoid the M25, could have serious tailbacks." Court in Peterborough said, "Tony, I was having a meltdown until you made me happy again. Thanks so much." And Misty 710 said, "Into London on a Friday afternoon?" Nope. And Soft Sixteens, oh, I'm sorry, I can't say this. Soft 16 Stick said, "Maybe put a swear box in your motor, you'd be loaded."
I would indeed. But it'll be coming from me though, won't it? To come back to me.
It's Jordan Plays said, I would have no choice but to head towards the M25 and head over the Dartford crossing if I was doing the journey myself, as I live in Essex."
Yeah.
And Ibrahim's back. He said, "Oh, you started another live chat."
Yep.
Sure have. Hi, Ibrahim.
It's the journey home.
Steve Davis is back. He said, "Just got up after my nap. I'm 75 this year.
Well,
Go back, your choice, as long as we can come with you. Take care." Soft 16 Stick. "Should have gone to Brighton, then you wouldn't have had the hassle of getting home."
yeah, because the little bit around the M25 that I think we're going to hit the traffic. If we go in town, it's going to be just as bad. So there's not going to be a lot of difference between it, I don't think. David Chalice said, "Sorry for the confusion. All the best from Lindsay, Forest of Dean. I made comment about an Audi parked at work. Commented that the indicators don't work. It was her car." And Roller Coaster is here and said, "May the road rise up for both of you. Can't believe you're still on the road." And Dave Chalice just clarified her being his boss. So he made a comment that the indicators didn't work and it was his boss. Oh!
Bet that went down well. Misty 710 said, to It's Jaws and Plays, well, you could go down to the ferry or tunnels, depends on where you are going, if you hit the south. Alan Howard said, Karina Radlove, Tony's channel is the best dash cam channel on YouTube. Love his funny comments and the idiots on the road.
Nice one, thank you.
And Caught in Peterborough said, ew, a tossler. Ibrahim said, watching this route reminds me so much of the airport taxi Mum and I would take to Heathrow to go back to Vancouver for a few weeks. You bring back happy memories. Never thought 2024 would be her last. Oh, sorry, Ibrahim.
Yeah.
Sad times. And we're up to date with your messages again, Tone.
Cool. Yeah, just so you know, my sat nav is telling me to take the A249, which is coming up on the left hand side, the one I gave you a lesson about on the way down. If you missed your turning, what you're supposed to do, go to the next one and turn back. Yeah, if anyone was watching that, that's coming up, and I'm purposely not taking it this time because I'm going to go down this M2 all the way down. I'm not sure even if I'm going the M25. So I'm not missing this one accidentally. I'm doing it on purpose.
Caught in Peterborough said, my name is Layla. I hope I've pronounced that right. Caught in Peterborough, Layla. Vinnie M said, can you copyright Always an Audi?
I don't think I can because it's Audi. Audi's a copyrighted name. I can't even have merchandise, I don't think, with Audi written on it. Yeah, so I could get in. I know companies that would do it, but I could get in trouble for selling it with Audi written on it.
Ibrahim said, oh, I see. Sasha Burton said, we love your channel, never stop. Nice to hear your wife keep you in check. And she just clarified the spelling of one of the words, never. Caught in Peterborough said, you said my name right. Good, thank you, Layla. I'm going to try and remember that. Whereabouts are we now? I'm just trying to see on the map if I can work out where we are.
Yeah, I see it better on
Old Street. Oh, there's a sign. Oh, we're near Gillingham, I think, because there's a big sign with a lorry that went by. Getting busier now, isn't it? What do these signs say? Sittingbourne, Maidstone, Sheerness.
There's a lot of red lights up in front, but they do seem to be moving. And
Layla said, me and Tony talk to each other on the phone, and he's so nice and caring. And Ibrahim said, by the way, keep 2 chevrons apart. Markings are actually more than 2 seconds apart at 70 miles an hour. Wonder if they're set up for wet weather as much as I'm fanatical about keeping distance. Mr. Phil 9999 said, frequent use of brake lights on a motorway is a sure sign of a crappy driver.
Yes, indeed, that's the way I was taught as well. You should never have to brake on a motorway. Very, very rarely should you have to brake. And if you can see all these people in the right-hand lane, they're all braking. I'm not.
My driving instructor used to say to me if drivers were getting too close to me, he used to, on the dual controls, he used to keep tapping the brakes.
Yeah, it's not. I mean, the
not.
thing is, because this is electric, depending on what setting you have it on, if you take your foot off the gas, the brake lights come on. I know I said gas when it's electric, you know what I mean. If I hit the accelerator, if you take your foot off the accelerator, the brake lights come on without you touching the brake, if you have it on a particular setting. Yeah, because in an electric car, when you take your foot off the accelerator, it slows down as though you're braking if you've got the regen button switched on, which the regen is pumping electricity back into your battery. So if you've got that set up correctly, all you have to do is take your foot off the accelerator and it brakes for you and puts your brake lights on at the same time.
Sasha Burton said traffic is getting a little worse. Vinnie M said, did you know the word Eleanor is copyright, gone in 60 seconds? If you call your 67 Mustang it, they can take it away. And that's true.
I saw a Mustang, you know, it must be the original then, because the number plate was Eleanor, and it's, you know, I had to look twice, and it's sort of like the camera didn't pick it up though, unfortunately. And it was that type of car, you know, the older Mustang, so, which was obviously in this country, so left-hand drive and that. So, yeah, that's interesting to know.
Lisa Sargent said, Bluebell Hill, slow traffic but moving. Is that where we're coming up to, maybe? Bluebell Hill? Layla, caught in Peterborough, said Tony and Sarah should go on Love Island.
They do it for oldies.
Michael Stein said, how close is too close? Eyes. Smiley face. James said, hi, if you had a dream car to buy for your work, what car would you buy? Also, have you ever driven in California before? Everyday driving here is driving me insane.
Sorry, can you say that again?
Say that again, yeah. So James commented, he said, hi, if you had a dream car to buy for your work, what car would you buy? Also, have you driven in California before? Everyday driving here is driving me insane.
Well, no. The only place I've driven in America is Chicago, a place in Rockford, just outside Chicago, where we had a couple of weeks there. Other than that, I've not driven in Europe at all. But the car, I'm not sure about what car for this job. For this sort of job,
Do you like a higher up car?
I do like higher up cars, yeah. Similar to this, but one with a bigger boot would be really nice.
I would have thought they'd put the street lights on now.
Yeah.
Where are we?
Now we're on the M2, are we not? We're on the M2. Is a coach allowed to be out in the outside lane on a motorway? Answers on a postcard.
I don't like lorries.
And get over. Look, he wants to get over, and there's cars in front of it in the middle lane. Why it's out there, I do not know.
Where are we? Ibrahim said, do you use a sat nav with traffic info?
Yeah, sometimes. I normally have two running at the same time. Actually, when I'm working, that is, I normally have Waze going as in the background, and I normally use Google Maps as my preferred sat nav. Waze is a little bit too shortcut here, shortcut there. It just drives you mad after a while. Finding shortcuts everywhere when you don't need it sometimes, you know.
Soft 16 Stick said, just coming up to Medway Bridge. Sita said, can Sarah be closer to the mic? She's very hard to hear and my volume is maxed. Hope you can hear me a bit clearer now, Sita?
Just the mic's on there, isn't it?
Oh, is it?
Yeah, the mic's on the phone up there.
Oh, I see. I'll try.
That's better.
Is that better? Am I going to give you earache?
No,
Tone?
you always give me earache, yeah.
You know what I mean. Layla said, Tony, do you know any car spotting places around your area?
Romans on the A217 is always a good one. Lots of expensive cars there. Near Banstead, well, it is in Banstead, that.
And Vinnie M said, no, it should be in the middle. Sorry, no, it should not be in the outside lane.
Yeah.
And Misty 710 said, the answer is no, I think.
Yeah. And that's what I think too.
Ibrahim said, M2 motorway will soon become A2 dual carriageway, where those larger vehicles are allowed in the outside lane, but not yet.
Yeah, that's also correct, yeah.
And Vinnie M said, coach in the outside lane, computer says no. And Sita said, no, still really soft. Sorry, Sita. Alan Howard said, coaches are not allowed in the are not allowed in the far right lane on a motorway, but I think they are on dual carriageways.
Yeah.
Vinnie M said, we used to have Eddie Stobart spotters around Widnes and Warrington. They're the ones with the names on, aren't they?
Yeah.
Eddie Stobart lorries.
Yeah.
Sasha Burton said, all those on the third lane up each other's arse up ahead. Ibrahim said, I'm hearing fine but occasional buffering, which is totally understandable. Owen Cope said, hi Tony and Sarah, just joined. I assume you've answered this already, but how was Margate?
Yeah, it was good. Good, nice little day out.
Very lucky with the weather. Very mild, hazy sunshine, a little bit blowy, but very nice. Lisa Sargent said, so the Always an Aldi t-shirts are copyrighted too in your merch shop?
Yeah, because the A isn't an A. It's like an at, as in on an email address. You know, you do that funny little A, so it's spelt funny. So you can get away with it by doing that, which is what we've done.
Alan Howard said, when you get to the junctions, watch out for the must get in front gang. They'll be there somewhere.
Indeed they will.
Antonio Costa said, hi Tony, I love your channel. I laugh a lot, especially when you talk about Audi, Fiat 500, German cars in general, shitting Peugeot. Laugh out loud. By the way, I have one Peugeot. I just hope I'm not one of those. Soft 16 Stick said, put your foot down, Tony, it's getting dark, and I ain't eating my carrots. And we're up to date with messages, Tony. Don't you find it odd that the traffic lights, the street lights still aren't on?
Yeah, it is a bit weird.
slowly coming on. Maybe they're on sensors or something.
Cutbacks.
I think we're going over the Medway, is it now? Maybe we're near Rochester, that sort of area.
Yeah, we are. Let's just a little bit back there.
Okay. We're talking about nice days out on the way down here, and a lovely day out, although it's a busy day out in December, is the Dickens Festival in Rochester. That's worth going to. Christmas time. Paul Chapman said to Tony and wife, best wishes to you both. Please don't forget to come over to East Sheen. I'd like to meet you both. Happy 2025.
Cool.
And thank you, Paul. Happy 2025 to you too. James has said, have you ever thought of uploading clips from your videos as YouTube shorts? I know some people don't have the attention span to watch 20-minute videos.
Yeah, I've thought about it, and yeah, maybe that's the way to go. But you know, I've put the questions like that out before, and most people say that they prefer the longer videos rather than the short ones. So yeah, you know, I'll do like something like a 15-minute video. People were saying they want them even longer than that, you know, 20-25 minutes and beyond.
Shorts like Reels,
Yeah,
TikTok,
yeah,
but YouTube versions.
yeah. I think they're 3 minutes long now. I think they are. I think they used to be a minute, didn't it? And now they're like, you can be 2 minutes and 59 seconds.
So it's a long short.
It's a long short, yeah.
Misty710 said, I had a Peugeot 306 for 16 years, but the biggest problem I had was that dealers ripped me off. Shitting Peugeot dealers. SPDs. SPDs. Misty710. Ibrahim said, I was thinking to drive to Margate from Canterbury and see if I could spot you from where you're parked. Come up to you and say, it's priority from the right, mate. Or a note on your car, always an Audi.
What did I say when we went up to the car?
Yeah, Tony, actually, when we went back to the car, Tony said, I wonder if our car's been egged, in case anyone worked out where we are. And luckily it wasn't egged. Soft 16 stick, maybe stop at Blue Water, treat your lovely missus to a quick shop.
There is no quick shop for a woman. What's the matter with you?
I'm not actually a big shopper, to be honest with you. A treat for me is a good old jaunt round Sainsbury's, if it's a good sized Sainsbury's. But I'm not a big shopper, lucky Tony. Sita said shorts will introduce more people to your channel.
Yeah, could do. It's something I need to look into.
Andrew Crawshaw said that coach got a long way ahead, didn't it? And Lisa Sargent said we're going to the Dickens Festival in Broadstairs in the summer. I highly recommend that. Funnily enough, Lisa, I've been looking at coach trips later, and I was going to book a coach trip to the Dickens Festival in Broadstairs. So nice to hear that you recommend it as well. I'm definitely going to look into that when we get home. Vinnie M said, I always ask my wife, which is longer, a pop to the shop or a nip? Good question. Alan Howard said, I drove Peugeot from Aberdeen, Scotland to the garage I worked for in Newcastle upon Tyne. I got as far as Dalkeith, Scotland, gearbox packed up. So that doesn't sound like you got very far in that, Alan. Lisa said, fantastic, we should all meet up. I don't think Tony would go to something like that. The Dickens Festival or anything like that, I don't think it would be Tony's cup of tea, Lisa. Ibrahim, but thank you for saying that, Lisa. very much so. Ibrahim said, good lesson to be learned from your driving. It's more relaxing driving at your speed and having a relaxing drive in the inner lanes as opposed to battling it out at higher speed in the outer lanes.
Yeah, very true.
I couldn't agree with you more, Ibrahim, especially as a passenger as well. Definitely.
Believe it or not, I'm doing around about 65, 68 miles an hour most of the time. So I'm not actually going that slow. It's just the others are actually going quite fast.
Alan Howard said, I didn't, Sarah. I got the problem sorted and drove back on cruise control. That was about his drive from Aberdeen to to Newcastle upon Tyne. And just so you know, Tony, you've got 90 people on the back seat.
Cool.
Yes. Alex Meikle said Dalkeith is near Edinburgh. We've never been to Edinburgh. We've been to Glasgow. Glasgow. We've been there, but we've not been to Edinburgh. I'd really like to go. Looks gorgeous. I don't think we've seen enough of Scotland. I don't think we've seen enough of anywhere really in the UK. We're very much creatures of habit. We find somewhere we like and end up just continually going to the same place instead of exploring a bit further. So it's been nice listening to recommendations on here and hearing where everyone's from. It makes you think, oh, try somewhere different. Alan Howard said, saying that I hated that garage, they took the rise out of me. That's really sad, Alan. I think you often find that, you put your all into a job and, not every employer is kind, are they? Some people just want to get as much out for you as they possibly can, which is a shame. Misty 710 said Edinburgh's a nice place. Exactly what I've heard, Misty. Ibrahim has just said, did you notice a different driving style in Thanet, where we've just come from, versus around London?
It's kind of hard to say because of the amount of traffic that I normally get where I drive compared to here. Not as bad, I don't think anyway. But then I wasn't there in rush hour, and the worst part of them is the school runs. If you're driving around in any area, the school runs are an absolute nightmare.
I think we're driving parallel to the train line into London now. That high speed link. Just looking on the map to see whereabouts we are. We're near Swanscombe. Wherever Swanscombe is. Oh, Lisa Sargent has just posted that she's just ordered 2 t-shirts and 2 stickers. I hope you get some money in return.
Oh, nice one.
That's really kind, Lisa.
Thank you.
That's really kind. James said, what are your thoughts on autonomous driving and how major companies are working to replace ride-share drivers? How do you see the future of this industry evolving?
Oh, it's going to take a long time, isn't it, before they perfect that. It will take a long time. I'll probably be long gone before they sort that out properly, I think. It's quite dangerous, isn't it, really, because computers and everything, they do go wrong from time to time, no matter how good they are. They do go wrong.
I think think it's scary that you could be in something where that you've got no control.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe it's going where you know, there's always that element where you could, but I find that a bit unnerving. Lisa, to your comment saying thank you for buying some of the t-shirts and stickers, she's just said you're welcome. Ibrahim said you'll be going over the Medway Bridge soon, watch out for the crosswinds. Misty710 said you've got a lot of Karens driving kids to school. I've even seen one car dropping her kids off in the middle of a junction as cars were approaching. Do you know what? I've got to say, today when we were in Margate, the way that people are with their kids near cars is, I'm astounded by it. There was one lady crossing the road from the seafront where the amusement arcades are, crossing over to the side where the beach was. She had 3 little children with her that were lower down than the bonnets of the cars, so they must have been 2, 3, 4 years old, I reckon, walking out in between parked cars, and there was a crossing literally 15 yards away from her, and oh, it's just beyond me. I just don't get it. To putting them at risk and teaching them that that's an okay place to cross a road, craziness. That's my rant. Owen Cope said, any more tales from the cab car coming soon?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, it's something I have to have a little think about.
Oops, sorry Alan, I missed your last comment. Thank you for the little reminder. The day the Peugeot gearbox packed up, by the time I got back home, I drove for 14 hours without a break. So that's just awful. I think Tony's had some jobs where he's, you know, literally driven non-stop all day, and you know, the firms he worked for at the time really didn't appreciate what he, you know, the work he was doing. It involved a lot of heavy lifting as well back then, but yeah, you just end up getting home. I can imagine Alan fed up after a rough day and really tired, and you think, is it really worth it? But yeah. And Vinnie M said it's been very windy up north today. Soft 16 Stick said, tell tight arse he missed blue water. Hey tight arse, you missed blue water.
Okie dokie.
Paul Chapman said, to Tony and wife, it is only my mum and me in the house. Sadly, Dad passed away in 2022. He was 99.
Wow.
Wow.
Good innings.
Yeah. Sorry for your loss, Paul, and your mum, but wow, 99. That is an amazing achievement to live that long. Ibrahim said, oh, you're not heading for the Medway Bridge. Ignore my previous comment. Oh, there's Emma Bubble Fix and Chill has said, hello parents, and a wavy hand. Hello Emma Bubble Fix and Chill.
Hello.
Wavy hand back. Stalker. Not really. Alan Howard, it ain't nice, Sarah. I drove all over the country for that garage. All I got was £100 a week. I left. I had enough. That's shocking. I guess that was quite a long time ago, Alan, to just be paid that amount of money. But yeah, that's not good. And Ibrahim just said, very sorry, Paul, about Paul's loss. Alan Howard said it was in 2021. only being paid £100 a week. Goodness, that's not even minimum wage, is it? That's dreadful. And just so you know, you've got 100 people in the back seat now.
Cool. Right, so now we're on the good old M25, which, if you look at the traffic coming towards us, I don't know if you can see that on camera, it's absolutely solid, heading towards Dartford Tunnel. Absolutely solid.
Where are we? James has said, do you think you could drive in a place like India? I think a lot of your subscribers would pay a lot to see that.
I follow a few people that actually do backpacking and all that sort of stuff, and they go to places like that, and no, I don't think I could. The noise would drive me mad, for starters. They just keep bibbing. They're in solid traffic and they just keep bibbing all the time, and it's sort of like, that's not going to help. Why are you on the horn? Get off it. And the way they drive out, well, there is no bloody rules out there, are they? You know, there's no rules at all. Shocking driving out there. And it's not just India, it's sort of other places as well they go where it's just as bad.
So we've know someone that's recently come back from a work trip in India, and they were told that you didn't need to pass a test, you just pay for your licence. Didn't she?
Yeah.
She mentioned that, didn't and also sent us some really interesting footage that she filmed while she was a passenger in a couple of cars out there, and tuk-tuks. Hair-raising.
Yeah, so I don't know what's happened to Dartford Tunnel way, because look at the traffic, it's all the way back here. It's absolutely solid and not moving very much at all. Considering there's no barriers there now for the old toll, I don't know what's happened. But then I guess it is nearly 6 o'clock on a Friday evening. So busy.
Abraham said, I keep forgetting it's Friday evening. I keep thinking it's the weekend due to your trip to the seaside.
Yeah.
Not to worry, the amount of traffic on each slip road is a reminder. Soft 16 Stick said, always solid Friday afternoon. And Alan Howard said, between doing distance runs, I worked in the garage workshop servicing cars. Then there was moved into the body shop prepping cars for a respray. Skilled work though, Alan. And Andrew Crawshaw said, I'm not on the back seat, I'm on the dashboard. You are indeed, Andrew. Paul Chapman said, to Tony and wife, I would appreciate it, please, if you can come over to East Sheen when you can. Let me know, please. Thank you for the invite, Paul. Lisa Sargent said, do you think we need a second crossing into Essex?
Can you imagine how much that's going to cost?
Do they need it, do you think?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, possibly.
Mr. Phil 9999 said, Thailand is about the most dangerous. About 50 people a day killed on the roads. I've driven there and it's bloody scary.
Yeah, I've seen videos on YouTube about that as well, and it is really bad.
Ibrahim said, seeing the much heavier traffic in the opposite direction reminds me of a Michael McIntyre sketch. Do you know that one, Tone?
No.
I don't think I know that sketch, Ibrahim. I might have to look out for that. Alan Howard said it was bad. He was glad to leave. I'm not surprised, Alan. Vinnie M said they have done the same with the new Mersey Gateway Bridge. You pay online. And Misty 710 said live MK25 Dartford crossing, multi-vehicle crash stops traffic.
Right. That would explain a few things.
And then just corrected, not MK25, M25.
Yeah.
I hope that's a rubbish end to the week for a lot of people. I hope no one's badly hurt. Alan Howard said the only decent job there was the DPD runs. Soft 16 Sticks said Sir Sadiq is going to open the new tunnel in April. Loads of money for TfL. Alan Howard said picking vans up from Carlisle for a drive along the A69 back to the garage for repair. And Misty 710 said M25 blocked at junction 1B.
Right. Okay, that would explain all that traffic back there going the opposite way.
And all those people coming now are all about to join it, aren't they?
They are indeed.
Do you know, it was quite nice today, or what Tony did, you know, putting out the choices of where to go today, because we are, or probably I am, really bad at making decisions. And one of the things we were chatting about when we were in Margate was what we were going to have for dinner tonight. And we couldn't decide. Maybe we should put some choices out there and you decide for us. We might do that in a little while. Stumpy Fingers said, the use of the horn has its purpose. 2 short toots, I'm behind you. 2 medium toots, I'm about to overtake you. 2 long blasts of the horn is, I'm in your blind spot beside you. Is that true? I didn't know that.
I didn't know
but
that.
That makes sense. That does make sense. Alan Howard said, the last time I did the DPD run, I got back as far as Hayden Bridge. The garage's Toyota Aygo overheated. There's me with 6 hours to be recovered. Vinnie M said, order a takeaway, Chinese, then put your feet up.
That is what I said, wasn't it? The Chinese.
It was what you said, yeah. Might just do that, Vinnie. And Michelle Simpson said, get a Chinese on the way home, saves cooking.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very tempting. It's the old calories that worry me, you know.
You've done a lot of walking today.
Not that much, really. I don't think we're quite hit. Oh dear, he's in a hurry. I don't think we're quite hit 10,000 steps.
Wow. Shot straight out to the outside lane.
Hope he's alright. That's dangerous. Owen Coates said, I always end up getting hungry watching this stream. Very food orientated, aren't we? We like talk about our journey there, thinking about what we're going to eat and places we've been and places we've eaten in there and doing it the same on the way back. Misty 710 said, I like Chinese, they only come up to your knees. Alan Howard said, idiot on a bike in the wet, you'll see him on the floor further up the motorway. That's exactly what I worry about, Alan. It's you kind of wonder why people do it. I always think it's either really being reckless, or maybe something's happened and they're just desperate to get somewhere really quickly. But yeah, it's not nice to see when you see either cars or bikes weaving in and out, and they really shouldn't be. It's not very nice. So we're coming up to Chartwell picture on the screen is very different colour-wise than what we can see. So
It's a lot darker.
it's, yeah, our view is a lot darker. It almost looks like a really lovely blue Disney nighttime sky on the screen. But yeah, it's...
So now we're at the split again of the M25, A21. Where this time we do need to be over to the left rather than the right.
Ibrahim just said, just realised the alternate route you took to the M25, avoiding the A249.
Yeah.
I did the same when the A249 M2 junction was being upgraded. There would be a long line of cars queued up on the hard shoulder. And Misty 710 said their food is guaranteed to please. A 14, a 7, a 9 and like cheese. And then in brackets she's put, yes, I like Monty Python. And you're all up to date with your messages again, Tony.
Okay.
Good girl, good. Good girl. Someone's just woken up. Alan Howard said, watching this, you should be playing 2468 Motorway by the Tom Robinson Band.
Yeah. I'd love to have a little bit of background music like that, but it's all copyrighted. Getting trouble.
Ibrahim said, LED headlights? Question mark. LED headlights?
Don't know.
James said, what are your thoughts on the bright white LEDs that are on cars nowadays? I think some people don't even know if their brights are on.
Yeah, I mean they're all right if you're in one of them cars because it's nice and bright, you can see. But if you're facing one of them, sometimes they can be a little bit blinding. Especially if these higher up vehicles, the 4x4s and everything that drive straight at you most of the time, and the lights are always in your eyes.
Misty 710 said to Alan Howard, or you could play Cars by Gary Newman.
Well, this is the road to hell, I think it is, isn't it? That's a good one for the M25.
That's what it was written about. Chris Rea wrote it about,
Yeah,
didn't he?
I think so.
I think so.
Yeah, it's makes sense.
Where are we? The outliner said, my favourite Monty Python sketches are Ministry of Silly Walks and the Silly Olympics. I think that was one of the first ones I saw, the Ministry of Silly Walks. Ibrahim said, bright. It's a North American term for high beams. I didn't know that. Good girl, good girl. And Alan Howard to Misty said, too right, cracking tune.
Cones everywhere.
Just going to look on the map to see whereabouts we are now. Oops. Right there. We're near Brasted. Ousterham Golf Club.
Do you want a bigger one on?
We're on a road in the middle of fields.
You see that there's arrows there, little pluses and minuses on the side there. If you hit them, you take it out or put it in.
That's all right. The outliner said, how far from home are you?
From here, it could take another 40-50 minutes or so, maybe, depending on the traffic.
Mr. Phil 9999 said, remember the famous Cones hotline? That was a joke. And Soft 16 Stick said, is it next Friday you're going to do a live drive to Scotland for us?
I wonder how many times I'll have to charge up and lose my temper at these chargers that don't work.
Iceby, aka P77I said, nice to see you.
See you nice.
Yeah. Have a good rest of your drive home. Gotta go now, it's tea time. All the best. Have a nice evening, Iceby, aka P77Ice. Thanks for joining us. Ibrahim said, the good old British workforce, right, Tony?
Indeed. Absolutely.
I like Now Music has asked, are you still, I'm sure they mean Uber driver is a bit of a typo.
Yeah, I'm still doing that. Not as much as what I used to. I'm sort of trying to wind it down a little bit to actually do more on the YouTube channel. Can't stop doing it just yet, but I seriously want to, because Uber is becoming a bit of a joke to actually work for.
Misty710 said to Mr. Phil 9999, just remember, every 100th cone is booby-trapped. And Alan Howard has just said, which era of music do you and Tony like, Sarah? For me, it has to be the 80s. Good bands. Madness is my absolute favourite band. What about you, Tony, your era?
Very, very late 70s and up to mid 80s for me. Yeah. Then it all went pear-shaped in the 90s.
Don't think so. Take that with the 90s. Yeah, I like a bit of a mixture, not really eras. I think I like different bands from different eras rather than one particular one. But I must say, 80s and 90s, they're great for sing-along and a bit of dancing. But I'm a big Beatles fan, big Take That fan. I like Tom Jones, I like Madness. And recently, I watched the Amy Winehouse film, which I didn't think I'd enjoy or anything, but I thought it was such a good film. And now I don't play a lot of music, but I play a lot of her stuff now. 27, such a talent. There we go. Phantom Epic said, you'll be passing miles of cones on the M25 to the A249. I went that way last night and coming back. But you will find some workers there standing around with their hands in their pockets. And Iceby, aka P77I, said thank you. Lisa Sargent said, I have not found one public mobility scooter charger yet. Still looking. And Alan Howard said, soft 16 stick. If they did, I'd be glued to the journey. Love this channel. Oh, that's nice, Alan. Thank you. That's about a live drive to Scotland.
Okay.
Ibrahim said, interesting how the camera alternates between focusing on the road and then the raindrops. I didn't know that.
No, obviously I can't see that. I'm not looking at that.
The outliner said, my son, who is my profile picture, loves Queen music.
Yeah, I don't mind a bit of Queen.
Gotta love a bit of Queen, definitely. Michelle Simpson said, haven't driven on a motorway at night yet. Any tips?
Just take it easy. Just take it easy and stay left. So, yeah, that's all you can do. Just, you know, it's the same as driving during the day, really. But don't be forced in going faster if someone's behind you going fast and they want to, you know, let them overtake. Don't to please them.
Les One More said, I made it here. How's the mystery route going?
Well, we're on our way back from from Margate 1, and now we're on our way back.
Soft 16 Stick said, nice driving, Tony. Have you considered doing it for a living? And I don't know who is doing it, but someone is pressing hearts.
Okay.
Which is very nice. Thank you for that. Alan Howard said, the Queen song for me was Radio Gaga, and the B-side to that single, I Go Crazy, both on YouTube. And Lisa Sargent said, Margate was first. What was second, third and fourth? Can you remember, Tony, was there?
Second was Bournemouth, then third was Eastbourne, and last was Brighton. But Margate won it by round about 40-ish votes, so it was a long way clear.
Jane said, don't use your radio, might have an iffy connection. Sorry if I've missed any of the other Jolly Boys outing references. Laugh out loud. So when we were in Margate, we were trying to work out where the coach was.
Yeah.
When it blew up, and we had a little chat about that on the way down. And at one point, Tony and someone else, I'm so sorry, I can't remember who it was, thought it was halfway down at the halfway house.
Yeah.
But that was where we remembered that was where Rodney got arrested for kicking a football at a policeman, and where the driver started to feel a bit squiffy in the pub. But we're pretty sure the coach blew up in Margate because that's why they had to stay there, because they couldn't get out of Margate. But we're still not sure where the coach was parked, so we might have to look at that when we get home, and then I can point at Tony and go, I was right.
It might,
maybe.
The way they do films though, it might be nowhere near Margate where they blew that up.
Misty 710 said, I prefer some of the earlier Queen music. I first heard them playing Killer Queen, but anything from A Night at the Opera or News of the World does me. Love the film, the Bohemian Rhapsody film as well. I went to the Freddie Mercury exhibition of his stuff before it was all auctioned off in Sotheby's. That was amazing. I think it could have been kept as a museum to make money for his charities, but yeah. Brilliant. Alan Howard said, did you go to the railway station where they had the argument about getting home? We did actually.
We did, yeah.
We did. We went to look at the Premier Inn next to the station, so we were literally right there. Ibrahim said, motorway nighttime tip. Know the different colours of cat's eyes. White between lanes, amber by central reservation, red by hard shoulder, green separating acceleration and deceleration lanes.
Yeah, good tip.
Yeah, that's a
Good
really
tip.
good tip. Really good tip. Thank you for that. Yeah. Phantom Epic said, should have done Brighton, then the A259 to Eastbourne. I could have greeted you.
Mhm.
Well, I might do that next time. If you go that way, do you go, is that when you go through Littlehampton? If you're going from Brighton to Eastbourne, or is that the other way?
The other way, yeah.
And Michelle has just said to Ibrahim that that was a question on the theory test about the cat's eyes. Mr. Phil 9999 said, in the Italian job, they blew the bloody doors off at Crystal Palace.
That's true, yeah. They did.
And Ibrahim said, oh yes, I passed in 1978 and still remember. And Michelle Simpson said, Ibrahim, I was born in 1978. Bit of a coincidence for you both in different ways.
Mhm.
Memorable years. Past 6 and dark as dark can be. I can't wait for the clocks to go forward and have a bit more daylight.
Yeah. There's lots of blue flashing lights on the opposite side of the road as well.
Can't see them yet.
They're about there.
Ibrahim said his mum's Mini Clubman is a 1978. Just try and have a little look and see whereabouts we're coming up to.
Croydon.
Oh,
The M23, Croydon. Soon to be the A23.
yeah. So Michelle's asked a question. I wonder who the oldest person is and the youngest person is on the.
That's so weird. I was thinking that, you know.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Michelle, you read Tony's mind there. Oh, I wonder. Anyone think they might be the oldest or think they might be the youngest? Maybe pop your age out there if you want to. We're on the road to nowhere by the Talking Heads, and I'll find my way home by John and Vangelis. Mr. Phil 9999 said, I passed my first time in 1969. The times of 5-star petrol, no seatbelts, and 25 bob for the test. Wow. Misty 710 said to Soft 16 stick, seems a bit much to get mugged over a kebab. And Soft 16 stick said it's roughing Croydon. Speedy.
Yeah. It was a Ferrari or something like that.
Alex, Michael said, I passed my test in 1973 in Southampton, but I'm Scottish. Alan Howard said, Ibrahim, I had a 1975 Mini Clubman in 1990. Just after I passed my test in Durham, that car was a total shed. I scrapped it. The outliner said, I'm 37. Lisa Sargent said, 55 this year. Michelle Simpson said, 47. And Les one more, it's not me at 44.
Well, I'm 57 and Sarah's 103.
Ibrahim said, if you pass others on the left but are on a slip road lane where the road markings change to longer lines, is that still considered undertaking?
The longer lines, well, if it goes into like a slip road and that, if it is a slip road, no, it's not considered undertaking if it's a slip road marking, if you're talking about that.
Phantom Epic said, I'm 61, old man syndrome. That's not old. That's not old. Michelle Simpson said, Sarah, I'm Tony's #1 fan. Misty 710 said, it's sometimes a Ferrari. Alan Howard said, someone's dinner has gone in the dog. I think that's at your 103 comment. She's having a snooze, Alan. Otherwise it would have done. Not really. Mr. Phil 999 said, I'm 73, still drive and still ride 165 mph bike. Wow. Ibrahim said to Alan, interested in hearing about your Mini. I'm keeping hers forever. That's his mum's Mini. I get that. Stumpy Fingers said, I'm 68 this year. The outliner said, Harry, I'll stick up for you. Thank you.
Who said that? Who's sticking up?
Misty 710 said, I'm 62 in October. It's a good month, Misty. My birthday in October too. I hate being old. You're not old, Misty. Les one more said, Sarah sounds 21 to me. Thank you, Les. Ibrahim said, I was born in September 1960. I'll leave it you to work out the math. Bear in mind I haven't had my birthday yet this year. And we're driving back from Hearn Bay.
Hearn Bay.
So we went to Margate, we're there for a few hours, drove on to Hearn Bay and started the live drive to come back. Michelle Simpson said, Mr. Phil is the oldest so far and the outlier is the youngest so far. So what was that? Was that 73 and 37? Cool. Alan Howard to Ibrahim said, I hated mine. The car was knackered, the engine drunk, the fluids like they were going out of fashion, and the brakes were knackered, and the electrics were a fire waiting to happen. Oh, Bad Deb has just said, my mum Sheila is your #1 fan. And she's 76 years young. You've got fans, Tom.
I know. That sounds weird.
Ian Dalton said, thank you, I'm only 67, Jang Man. And just so you know, Tony, you've still got 82 people in the car with you.
Cool.
Owen Coates said, I'm 26, but I'm sure there are younger viewers than me. I think you're now the youngest on the channel.
At the moment.
At the moment, yeah. hear some bibbing.
Why can I see a bright light heading towards us?
Don't know.
Can you see that bright light up there?
There is, the car is lit up quite a bit.
It's like it shouldn't be
dear.
white going that way.
There's a lot of
It's
bibbity
that one there that should going past. It was facing the wrong way. Like this one. You can't be facing the wrong way on a road like this.
Dangerous. Mr. Phil 9999 said, my body says I'm 73, my brain says I'm about 25. I think we all know that feeling a bit, don't we?
Yeah, definitely.
Ibrahim said to Ian Howard, sorry to hear that. Mum's clubman hasn't been driven for 5 years, but I hope to have it restored. Bodywork is still pretty good, not so sure about 5-year-old petrol and other fluids. Michelle Simpson said, Mr. Phil, I can still pass for 25. And Misty said, Hooley looks quiet tonight. So far?
Yeah, so far.
So good, yeah.
A little bit of traffic back there, but nothing compared to normal. But we were definitely lucky with the weather today, being there.
Yeah.
We didn't have one bit of rain in Margate at all.
Helen Howard said, Ibrahim, it could be hard to get the parts for cars from that era unless you know of some clubs who can help. And Ibrahim said, always intrigues me that wrong way parking is allowed in the UK in daytime and even at night if in a marked bay. It is really weird when you think about it.
Well, you're not supposed to park facing traffic. I think, is it 11:30 at night? We have got a rule about parking facing traffic, but it's something like about 11:30 at night or something like that you're not allowed to do it. Then it becomes a thing, but nobody bloody does anything about anything anyway. So you might as well say we haven't got a rule at all.
Mr. Phil 9999 said to Misty 710, I used to watch the minis race in the Cortinas and Big Yank Galaxies at Crystal Palace racetrack. Saw Jim Clark racing there. And Ibrahim said to Ian Howard, mini spares aren't bad. Hello. And we're now coming into Causden. Not too far now.
Did anyone ever do or go to watch banger racing? And is that still a thing? Round London area-ish? Is banger racing still a thing that happens?
Yeah, we were talking about that the other night, weren't we? Because they used to do it at Wimbledon, which doesn't exist anymore.
Wimbledon does, but the actual arena doesn't.
Yeah, and we were just wondering if anything like that exists anymore anywhere.
So I'd quite like to go and see that. That could be quite good fun.
Les One More said, will this become a video to watch as I missed the first 50 minutes?
Only the bad bits, only the stuff where people's done something stupid in front of me or behind me. I will put that on, but otherwise it's doing the same thing twice, and YouTube don't like that. They actually get the ump with you if you use the same material too much. So yeah, you got to be very careful with a lot of things on YouTube. I didn't realise any of this until I started it. The channel, that is.
Misty 710 said to Mr. Phil 9999, Yep, it's a shame that so many of the circuits have shut now. I still occasionally go to Mildenhall, or I did until it burned down. Ian Dalton said, been a big fan for years. Know your roots, love your songs, always an Audi and the self-entitlement wax. It's now in Zeitgeist.
That's a telly and a half. Can you see the top left-hand side of your screen?
Oh,
There is a projector thing in someone's small little flat there. That's the whole side of the house showing a cartoon.
I think, I'm not sure, isn't it something to do with if you have a projector, something to do with a TV licence?
Don't know.
I'm sure there's something about that. It's becoming very popular. But yeah, that was a whole wall's
Well,
worth.
they're quite cheap compared to massive tellies. That's why.
Where are we? Hold on. Mr. Phil 9999 said used to watch bangers at Wimbledon. Sita said, cheers Sarah and Tony, must be off. Bye Sita, thanks very much for watching and for chatting earlier.
And we'll catch you on the next one.
Mr. Phil 9999 said, and there was speedway and dog racing at Wimbledon.
That's right, it was. I used to go to the dogs more than anything else, to be honest.
Soft 16 Stick said, I used to go to banger racing in Crawford. Love figure of 8 and last car moving.
Yeah.
Soft 16 Stick said Crayford. Misty 710 said, it's still a thing, but not around London. Arena Essex closed in 2018, Wimbledon 2017. Not sure if Smallfields is still open. Otherwise, the nearest is the east of England. Ibrahim said, re the 11:30 at night parking. Correct though that wrong way parking is not allowed at night after sunset.
Is it sunset? Yeah, I knew there was a thing. I wasn't too sure about the time. A lot of them sort of rules I don't I don't know because I don't do it. I don't park on the wrong side of the road at night or day if I can help it. Definitely don't do it at night, and very rarely do it during the day. So I don't clue myself up on them rules, to be honest, and no one's going to do anything about it anyway.
Barry Moore said you'd to visit Ringwood Raceway in Ringwood, Hampshire, but I think the land was swallowed up for houses or flats.
Yeah, it's probably about right.
Alan Howard said to Ibrahim, if I was able to buy another car, it would have to be a BMW, VW Golf, VW Polo or Toyota Prius. If I had serious money, a Vauxhall Cavalier SRI.
Cavalier, blimey, that brings back some memories then.
Nicholas Bell said regarding horn signals, for ships and boats 1 hoot, I'm turning right 2 hoots, I'm turning left 3 hoots, I'm in reverse 5 hoots. What the hell are you doing? Get out of my way. That's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Misty 710 said to Gary Moores, that's a shame, I always enjoyed the end of season team meeting there. And Ibrahim said to to Ian, I remember the Cavalier SRI, a favourite repmobile. Very true, lots of reps have them. Yeah. Les One More said, well, I hope there's lots of Audi drivers in the first 50 minutes.
I don't think there was any.
Bubbly Medallion said, Tony, best turning off your autofocus on your phone. Seriously, once you focus it in manually, your video quality will be better. Loving the drive.
That's probably a good idea actually, but it's very difficult because it's through the YouTube app, so control over certain things you lose. YouTube take it over to a certain extent and do what they think is best. because it's not through my camera app as such. It's through their app.
Is that why when you tried to take the photo, it was on a timer?
Yeah, I tried to do a thumbnail, and it wouldn't let me take a thumbnail. It put a timer on it and all sorts, and it's then it wants to turn the video around the wrong way, and yeah, it's probably because I need to look into it and do it a bit, do more of them, and then I'll find it easier the more I do it, I think. But yeah, if I can do that, then I will, because that's a pretty good idea actually, so it stays the same as like a normal dash cam.
Thank you for that lovely medallion.
Yeah, good tip.
Michelle Simpson said, my dad had a Vauxhall Cavalier. Alan Howard said, Tony, I couldn't believe how easy the Mark II Cavaliers were to work on.
I'm pretty sure my brother had one when he was a rep. I'm sure he did. And they're really nice cars actually. I used to quite like them. They're quite nippy for back then anyway.
Soft 16 Stick said, Sarah, when you get in, make Tony make you a drink for all your hard work with the commentary. You was great. Thank you for saying that. That's very kind. Ibrahim said, Ford Sierra and Ford Vauxhall Cavalier were known to be coat hangermobile due to Rep's jacket hanging in the back side window.
Yeah, not
yes, wrong. Remember that. And Bubbly Medallion said you're welcome when you thanked him for the tip. Eugene Bowers has said, just bought a Niro. Good idea?
What type have you got? A petrol one or a fully electric? They're pretty much the same sort of shell. There's a lot of good things about them, but there are a few little niggly things that get on my nerves about this car. But the most important thing is that it is a really nice drive. It is so easy, and it's almost relaxing. It brings back the fun of driving again, where driving it was starting, because I do it all the time, was starting to become a real chore, and it's sort of like brought out making it sort of fun again, because it's so easy to drive, whether that's just because it's electric and it's easy to do. I don't even have to go into petrol stations anymore and all that sort of stuff. It's that where I've never used to like doing that. Yeah, there are a few little things. I do want to do a review sort of thing on this car. Sort of 4 years of having it now, because when I bought this car, I looked at so many reviews and everything, but they have a car for like a couple of hours and then they do a review on it. You can't get a full, proper perspective of the car in that amount of time, because they don't know that the rear seat belts don't recoil, and customers keep slamming the door in with the seat belts dangling around because they haven't recoiled. Little things like that.
And the seal coming off of your door.
And the seal coming off the door and all that sort of stuff. And the main thing is the warranty. The Kia warranty isn't as good as what you think it is. The 7-year warranty that they say, or up to 100,000 miles, is rubbish. It's a lie. It's
misleading.
Yeah, that's the word. Not a lie. It's misleading. One of the only things that is covered for that amount of time is my big battery underneath the car, the range battery. Everything else has different life expectancies in the warranty. It's not as good. You really do need to read the small print on the warranty on the Kia. So sorry if I've turned you off for buying your new car.
Owen Cope has said, thanks for the stream, guys. I'm off to a pub quiz. Wish me luck and have a good night. Oh, really, really good luck, Owen. I hope you have a great time. There's such good fun. Thanks, and a big thank you for joining the chat.
Yeah, nice one, mate. Thank you.
And Lisa Sargent has said, have fun, Owen. Eugene Bowers has come back just to say it's a petrol hybrid.
Right, I've had one of them. Nice car. little, not so much. A lot of noise, no poke to it, if you know what I mean. It's nice car though. Nice car. I'm not gonna slate it too much or anything like that. It's I had one of them and then I went to full electric, and I do prefer the full electric version. I thought it was actually quite noisy when it changed from electric to petrol, and not a lot of power went with it. But yeah, but it's still a nice car. Everyone's needs are different, you know, so to have that extra range and be able to top up with petrol rather than charge is is a big difference as well for a lot of people.
That must be quite comforting, I expect, if you're worried about running out of electric.
Yeah, the range anxiety can be a thing. I mean, but you look at what we've done today. We've gone from Carshalton to Margate, then we went to Hearn Bay, and then back home, and I've still got 119 miles range left. So it shouldn't really be an issue with your range really, because if you're working with it as well, you factor in charging, as in you should have a break, you should have a lunch break. All you got to do is put it on a charger when you're having your lunch break, things like that. You do have to think a little bit differently to a petrol car, obviously, but having a break is probably a good thing when you're driving as well. So after doing sort of 300 miles, you should be having a break.
Ibrahim said actually Fords of old were known as Dagenham dustbins. And Alan Howard said to change a clutch on a Mark II Cavalier running gear stayed in the car. There was a access plate on the gearbox bell housing that came off, then the end plate on the gearbox, and the clutch was out. I've done a Cavalier clutch on the one I had in 1995. The Outlier said, my dad's brother used to do cars up in the 1990s, and I remember my dad buying an E-Reg Cavalier from him. After that he had a Ford Escort Encore from him. Ian Dalton said, Tony, what's the fastest speed you've ever driven? Abroad or on a track, obviously. Mine is 152 at Millbrook in a Porsche. Recommended.
You beat me. I've never really been a speedo guy. It's I've been in a car where people have done 130, but never driven it myself at that sort of speed. 100 mile an hour I've done, that sort of thing, but no, I've never had really the cars to actually go that fast. If I got to 70 miles an hour, things would fall off of them, some of the old bangers that I've driven. And this one, top speed is only 105.
Alan Howard said, the outline I had a Mark II Sierra, Mark III Escort, and of course a Mark II Cavalier. Loved all of them. Les One More said, as of 2030, don't we all have to go electric?
I think that's going to be extended. Isn't it the fact that you're not going to be able to buy a petrol car rather than we all have to go electric? You're just not going to be able to buy one from a main dealer or whatever.
The outliner said to Alan Howard, nice cars. Misty 710 said to Les, one more, not necessarily, but it is supposed to be that you won't be able to buy a new one that is petrol diesel car. So that's just.
Well, I do think it will be extended anyway. I can't see it, not unless they really get their act together. It's just not there yet.
Gary Moore said, Tony and Sarah, thank you for these live drive streams, entertaining and interesting as always. Tony, Sarah definitely deserves a drink of choice for the commentary and a thumbs up. Thank you, Gary. Alan Howard said, the outliner, yeah, they were, I missed them. Michelle Simpson said, do you think automatic cars will outlast manual cars?
I don't think there's much difference between them, to be honest. They run pretty much the same way, really, as in engines and all that sort of stuff, if you know what I mean.
Les One More has said thanks to Misty710. Dougal Dog said, it seems that carting around both petrol and battery powered motive systems in a hybrid would impose compromises. Thanks for the live drives, Tony and Sarah. Thank you, Dougal Dog. Gary Moore said 300 miles a day, part-time, laugh out loud. I do get to have a break every 4.5 hours though. Ibrahim said, regarding Tony, I've never been a Speedo guy. Are you referring to swimming trunks?
And that's Speedo, yeah?
Nicholas Bell has said, enjoyed the live drive today. I watch all your videos. Very funny and instructive too. Nick.
We're almost coming to an end, by the way, guys, because we're almost in Carshalton High Street, Carshalton Village even.
And that's just answered Alan Howard's question, who said, where are you now, Tony? So we're in Carshalton, in the High Street. Michelle Simpson said, if Tony was into speed, he would be driving an Audi. And just so you know, Tony, there are 80 people in the car with you now that you're back on your home turf.
Now that we're nearly home. Chinese?
I'm thinking about an Indian as well now.
Really?
Yeah. Don't know.
Where are you getting that from then?
No, you're right. Chinese might be easier. Andrew Crawshaw has just said, don't forget the Chinese. There we go. Go out and get it though.
No, well, I'll take you there now.
Oh, okay. Michelle Simpson said, have both. Could do, you know.
Could do.
I have actually got a ready meal in the fridge.
Oh, behave. We're having Chinese.
Michelle Simpson said have both. Misty710 said, I like their tiny little trees. She's just singing again. The outliner, Chinese always hits the spot. Welsh Furry Gaming 69 said, wish they had a camera by our new library. 6 signs tell you that on that side, no right turn. Regularly see tips ignore, bus taxi only sign rule though. Should they all get fines?
It says no right turn, yeah.
And Bad Day, nice drive, have a nice evening. And you too, Bad Day.
Yeah, lovely. Thank you for tuning in.
Yeah. Alan Howard said, Michelle Simpson, no, Tony has his head on his shoulders. Audi drivers are empty from the neck upwards. Soft 16 Stick said, just put your hazard lights on, Tony. Ubers park where they feel like. Laugh out loud.
Then we got something behind us that needs us to get out of the way. Can't see it though.
No, I can. There are flashy lights.
No, we're not gonna get. We got to go up here, get out of the way of it.
Ooh, touch me knees, touch my toes. Don't want to end up in one of those. Right then, where are we? Alan Howard said, oh no, you said that one, sorry. Ibrahim said, Sarah and Tony, I feel like you're almost like family. Always loved Tony's regular LDC videos, and now these live drives have added a whole new dimension. Hope you continue doing what you do. That's very, very kind of you, Ibrahim. Thank you for that.
Yeah, cheers, thank you.
Where are we? Michelle Simpson said, Alan Howard, Tony would show the Audi drivers how it's done. Mr. Phil 9999 said, I cook my own Chinese grub, it's easy. Do you know, I do as well, but I quite fancy a night off. And it's never quite the same. Ian Dalton said, Sarah, get Tony a Porsche Cayman S course at Millbrook for his birthday. It costs about £400, but it's so much fun. Just do it. Do you know what, Ian? If I was allowed to get those metal letters that I saw in Margate today without the face, I might have considered it.
I didn't pull a face.
No, you just said, let me get you out of this place. Raymond said, woohoo, I made the tail end of the live drive. Sarah, I'm pleased you shifted that lingering cough you had. So am I, Raymond. Hey, Speedo guy, that nickname's not going away anytime soon. Kind regards. Lisa Sargent said, take care then, Tony and Sarah. See you all soon. Take care, Lisa. Thanks very much for joining in. Alan Howard said, Michelle Simpson, correct, you win £1,000. Laugh out loud. And Alan Howard said, oh, someone's in trouble, hope it's not bad. And Eve Hughes said, I love your videos.
Nice one, thank you.
Misty710 said, Michelle Simpson, as if any Audi driver would take any advice. No, any notice, sorry. And Les One More said, thanks for getting us home safely.
You're welcome. We're almost here. And I'm just gonna pop it over here.
And Karen Spooner said, hi, how are you both? We're fine, thank you, Karen, hope you're well. Ibrahim said, sad this live drive is coming to an end. Looking forward to continued viewing. Oh, thank you, Ibrahim. I hope you have a really nice evening. And hope to catch up with you when we do another live. Monkey in the Works said, thank you for the Margate trip. See you for the next one. And Alan Howard said, Misty710, the elder driver, own the roads, or at least they think they do. And Soft 16 Stick has done 4 hearts. And Ibrahim said, just check you don't have 74 subscribers following you. Evs Hughes said Sigma. And Mr. Phil 9999 said, did I win the oldest git prize? Misty710 said, Alan Howard, they may well do, but the BMW drivers always disagree. And that's your messages up to date.
Right, that's it then, guys. Time to knock it on the head. Thanks everyone for tuning in. Tuning in to YouTube. Anyway, thanks a lot, guys, and we will catch you on the next one. Okay, bye for now.
Bye.